Hello, my name is Sophie. I am learning English. I want to tell you about my life and how I study English. I hope my story can help you learn English too. It is not always easy, but I enjoy it very much. I live in a big city in Spain. I moved here from Barcelona last year. My city is very busy. It has tall buildings and many shops. I like to explore the city and practice my English. Every day I wake up at 6:30. I make a bowl of cereal and drink some orange juice for breakfast. Then I listen to an English radio show while I get ready. This helps me start my day with English. I like shows about news and culture in Britain. I work in a large hotel in the city center. It's a great place to practice my English. Many tourists stay at our hotel. They speak English, so I must use it too. It's challenging sometimes, but it helps me learn quickly. I always try to learn one new phrase from each guest. After work, I go to English classes 4 times a week. My teacher is very patient and encouraging. We learn grammar, vocabulary, and how to speak better. I like the listening exercises the most. We hear conversations about different topics like travel, work, and family. It's interesting to understand native speakers. On the days when I don't have classes, I watch English YouTube videos at home. I use English captions to help me understand. At first, I didn't understand much, but now I can follow most of the content. I write down new expressions I hear and practice them later. It's an enjoyable way to learn. I also read English newspapers. I started with simple news websites because they are easier. Now, I can read articles from major British newspapers. I read a little bit every day during my lunch break. It helps me learn new words and see how they are used in context. I feel proud when I understand a complex article. On weekends, I often join an English conversation club. We are 10 people who all want to improve our English. We meet in a park and only speak English for 3 hours. We discuss current events, share opinions, and help each other with pronunciation. It's challenging, but we have fun too. I use a vocabulary app on my phone every day. It shows me new words and tests me on ones I've learned. I use it while waiting for the bus, during coffee breaks, or before bed. The app reminds me to review words I find difficult. I try to learn 5 new words each day. It's a small goal, but it adds up quickly. Writing in English is still tricky for me. To practice, I have a blog where I write short posts in English. I write about my city, my hobbies, and my English learning journey. I don't worry about making mistakes. The important thing is to express my ideas. Sometimes I ask native speakers to comment and correct my writing. I listen to English podcasts a lot. I download episodes about topics that interest me, like science or history. This helps me with my listening skills. I learn many new words and facts. Some words are specific to certain subjects, but it's still useful to know them. Podcasts also help me understand different accents. Speaking English on the phone is very difficult. To practice this, I volunteer at a tourist information hotline once a week. I answer simple questions about my city in English. At first, I was very nervous, but now I feel more confident. It's rewarding to help people and improve my English at the same time. I watch English weather reports every evening. I don't understand every word, but I try to get the main information. It helps me learn about describing weather and temperatures in English. I also learn how to talk about predictions and possibilities, and this is very useful for small talk with hotel guests. Sometimes I feel discouraged when I make mistakes or don't understand something, but I try to remember that every error is a learning opportunity. I keep a mistake journal where I write down corrections. I review it often to avoid repeating the same mistakes. This helps me see my progress over time. I changed the language on my computer to English. At first it was confusing, but now I'm used to it. It helps me learn technical terms and everyday digital vocabulary. I also learn how to troubleshoot in English. This is useful when I help guests with Wi-Fi or other tech issues at the hotel. On Saturdays, I go to an English language cinema club. We watch films in English without subtitles. After the movie, we discuss it in English. I don't understand every word in the films, but I enjoy following the stories. The discussions help me practice expressing opinions and describing plots in English. I joined an online English book club last month. We read one book every 2 weeks and then have a video call to discuss it. It motivates me to read regularly and helps me understand different writing styles. I learn new vocabulary and practice speaking about literature. It's challenging but very rewarding. I love sports, so I started following English football teams. I watch matches with English commentary. I learn words for describing movements, tactics, and emotions. I also read English sports news and fan forums. It's fun to learn English through my interests. Now I can discuss football with English-speaking guests at the hotel. I keep a small notebook with me all the time. Whenever I hear or see a new word, I write it down. At the end of the week, I review all the new words. I try to write a short story using as many new words as possible. This helps me remember the words and practice using them in context. It's like a fun challenge for me. Sometimes I record myself speaking English. I talk about my day or give my opinion on a news story. And then I listen to the recording. It helps me hear my own mistakes and notice areas where I need to improve. It felt strange at first, but now it's a normal part of my learning routine. I like to use English language learning websites. They have games, quizzes, and exercises for all levels. I try to spend at least 20 minutes each day on these sites. They make learning feel like playing. I especially like the listening quizzes and the grammar games. They help me practice in a relaxed way. Every month I choose an English poem to memorize. I practice saying it every day. This helps me with pronunciation and rhythm in English. It also teaches me new words and beautiful phrases. Sometimes I don't understand all the words, but I enjoy the sound and feeling of the language. Poetry shows me the beauty of English. I try to create an English environment around me. I put labels on things in my home with their English names. I set my phone alarm with an English message. I even talk to my pet cat in English. These small things help me think in English more often. It makes the language a natural part of my daily life. I watch English talk shows and comedy programs. They help me understand casual speech and humor in English. I don't always get the jokes, but I'm learning about English-speaking culture. It's interesting to see what makes people laugh in other countries. Humor is a big part of language learning for me. I joined a language exchange website. I chat with English speakers who want to learn Spanish. We write messages and have video calls. We help each other with our languages. It's nice to make friends from other countries. We often talk about the differences between our cultures. It makes learning English more personal and fun. To improve my writing, I started keeping a dream journal in English. Every morning I write about my dreams from the night before. It's a good way to practice descriptive language and expressing abstract ideas. Sometimes my dreams are strange, so it's a fun challenge to explain them in English. I love cooking, so I bought an English cookbook. I try to cook one new recipe each week. I learn words for ingredients and cooking verbs. I also learn about measurements and temperatures in English. Sometimes I invite friends over to taste my English cooking. We practice English while we eat. It's a delicious way to learn. Learning English has changed my life in many ways. It has given me new opportunities at work and helped me make friends from around the world. I understand more about other cultures now. Sometimes it's hard work, but it's always interesting. English has opened up a whole new world for me. I'm excited to keep learning and improving. I hope my story has given you some ideas for your own English learning journey. Remember, the key is to practice a little bit every day. Find ways to make English part of your daily life. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. They are a normal part of learning. Enjoy the process and celebrate your progress. Good luck with your English studies.